What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday the 13th Friday. Happy holidays to all my friends out there who celebrate Christmas, Christmas is a week away. I hope you guys are staying safe with everything that's going on, but I hope you guys are finding a way to spend time with family and just enjoy this time. I know we're going through some crazy times in the world right now, but I think one of the best things to do is to just continue to press forward and hold those that you love dearly, very close, and, just cherish every day. So I know today's not Friday the 13th, guys, but on my channel right now, what we deal with on Fridays is Friday the 13th Fridays until we get through all of the Friday the 13th films. So that's why I say happy Friday the 13th Friday, you guys. So today we're going to be talking about Friday the 13th Part 3. There's going to be spoilers. We're not going to do a play-by-play because I would be here talking for 30-40 minutes, you guys, and I'm not trying to bore anybody. I want everybody to have a good time. I want to recommend this film to people because this is one of my favorite films, but there's going to be spoilers. So we're going to talk a little plot, then we're going to talk how it ends, and then we'll talk the good and the bad, my ranking, what I think. So there's not really much. There are people who say Friday the 13th Part 2 is better than this film, and for the most part, I want to agree with you. I really do. I want to agree with you that Friday the 13th Part 2 is a better film. However, this is my list. This is my ranking. This film is a little bit more enjoyable for me than Friday the 13th Part 2. When I do my ranking video, I don't know which one is going to be placed in front. I'm going to rewatch all of these as I do my ranking from worst to best, and I'm going to just do it that way, you guys, and I'm going to give it the fairest ranking that I can. But I, as a fan, enjoy this film a little bit more than Part 2. I am not saying it is better than Part 2. I just enjoy it a little bit more. The plot of this film is basically Chris Higgins is going to be our final girl, our main protagonist, and she basically grew up near Camp Crystal Lake, Higgins Haven. For those who play Friday the 13th the game, they are familiar with Higgins Haven. It's a map on Friday the 13th the game. It's one of the boards. And she basically, 3 years prior to the events of this film, she actually had a run-in with, at the time she didn't know, but had a run-in with an unmasked, deformed Jason Voorhees in the wilderness. And continuity in this, man. I can't really even explain it. So basically, for it to be 3 years after, before the events of this film, it would mean that it had to take place after Friday the 13th Part 1, but before Friday the 13th Part 2. Basically, her flashback. I'm not talking about this film. I'm talking about this flashback, because Friday the 13th Part 2, after the Prelude, it time jumps 5 years. So it had to be sometime after Alice got killed at the beginning of Friday the 13th Part 2. So basically, Chris Higgins is, and I cannot remember if they say the reason, but basically the plot line of this film is that Chris Higgins and her friends are going back to her childhood home after her being away for 3 years. That's basically the plot. I mean, maybe you guys know. Again, this is one, like I said, this is one of those films. It's like middle of the road, and I really have to rewatch this one more. I really do. It's one of my favorites, but I probably have not seen this one as much as Part 2 and Part 1. So that's basically the plot line. Like, they're going to have a good weekend with friends, and also accompany their friend to go back and overcome her fears, I guess, a little bit. So kind of like a little bit of aesthetic, a little bit of dynamics similar to Alice, except for, Alice never really left Camp Crystal Lake after her nightmares in Part 1. So basically what happens is that they go there, and Jason's there, starts to pick them off one by one. Everybody in this film gets killed with the exception of Chris Higgins, who's going to be our final girl. And I'm just running through this because I don't want to draw too much attention on the plot. I want to basically talk about the good and the bad and what I think about this film. So the climax of this film is basically that all of Chris Higgins' friends get killed. She ends up having to take Jason on basically by herself, and she actually defeats Jason. Jason gets an axe to the forehead in this film. She basically there was a biker earlier in the film who was thought that Jason killed him earlier, and he comes back and is able to like kind of save her from Jason, and he gets killed, and she's able to pick up an axe and just drive it straight into his forehead, end him. Then we get another stupid dream sequence that I am tired of by this time, you guys. I hate these dream sequences. Like I said in my Friday 13th Part 2 review, they are stupid. They serve no purpose unless you're going to not do a sequel and leave the ending ambiguous. Or if you're going to do a sequel but not bring back Jason and not bring back this central location. It would have made sense. So that's dumb. So it ends with a dream sequence of basically Pamela Voorhees drowning Chris Higgins, bringing her under the water, and then we find out that that's not what happened, and she gets loaded onto an ambulance stretcher, and the film ends. So good. No, I'll talk about the bad first, because I think there's more good than bad. So the bad, the dream sequence ending, once again, that I am tired of by this point. It's like, okay, Friday the 13th, we get it. We are tired of the dream sequences. Just please stop with the dream sequences. The first one was pretty cool. I mean, okay. The second one, it was okay. It wasn't great, but by this time, I'm tired of it. And if I had seen this in theaters in 1982, I wasn't even born at that time, I would have probably seen this one coming, that it was going to be a dream sequence. Because, I mean, you've done it to us twice before, so what's to stop the third time? Third time's a charm, I guess. So the dream sequence ending. The characters, my goodness, you guys. With the exception of Chris Higgins and Shelley, who I like. A lot of people don't like Shelley, and Shelley is basically like a minor character in this film. He probably gets more screen time than some of the other victims of Jason in this film, but he's basically always playing pranks, and I guess what they were trying to go with is, and he's the reason Jason gets his hockey mask, because he had the hockey mask. He plays pranks the whole entire movie, and like once or twice he pretends to be dead. And it's kind of ironic because the one time he actually gets his throat slit and he goes to the house to try to tell people, hey, I'm really hurt. He's not speaking because his throat is slit. He's like, basically. And he gets killed. He dies right there, and they think it's funny. And it was kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. That's why I can have a good time with Shelley as opposed to other people who think he's annoying. So I'm not going to... The characters... This film started the trend for me where the characters went down in quality. With Friday the 13th Part 2 and Part 1, I enjoy a lot of the characters. And Friday the 13th Part 4, I like the characters. But this one started the trend where they became like archetypes instead of just being characters and individuals. Like, okay, they're cannon fodder. They're here to be served up on a platter like a turkey for Jason to devour. Basically, that's what this movie started. And while it doesn't continue into Part 4, it starts this trend where after Part 4, that's where the direction of these films started to go. The characters are unlikable. They're just there to die. This film started that. The central location. I like Higgins Haven. I like that it's near Camp Crystal Lake, just like with Part 2, near or on the shores of Camp Crystal Lake. But continuity makes no sense why a day after the events of Part 2, which would probably be on the news, why these characters would come back here not knowing what's going on unless, like I said in Part 2, they're dumb as rocks or they just don't pay attention. But I won't ding it for that. I just, that's more of a nitpick. But Higgins Haven, like I said, I like it, but adjacent to that is a barn, and that is where the central location of this film basically takes place. Jason is hiding out at this barn. They keep coming back here. Characters go into the barn to get killed. Characters go into the barn, peek. Jason sees them. He follows them out. He kills them. He goes back to the barn. This is where the climax of the film takes place. I hate this barn. And I think that's it, you guys. I think with the negative, I think that's all I got for this film. And the Chris Higgins flashback. Okay, a little bit of her backstory. I said it earlier. They had an encounter. She had an encounter with Jason in the woods in the middle of the night by herself. It's a rapey flashback scene because she's like on the ground. He's on the ground. He's grabbing at her ankles. Like, it just seems like he's trying to rape her. I feel like they could have done this scene a little bit better and actually had him trying to like murder her. I mean, I know that's what he was trying to do, but it's just really rapey and really creepy. I'm not gonna lie, it's weird. Positives. I like Chris Higgins. She's no Jenny Field from part 2, but I think she's better than Alice. She's an enjoyable final girl, and like I said, they tried to tie it together and do some little things with her backstory. And I think ultimately what I think they try to do is put Alice and Jenny together, and that's where we get Chris. Like, it's like a formula for me. Like, that's how I see it. So I like Chris Higgins. I like Higgins Haven, and I like getting outside of Camp Crystal Lake itself and giving us a location that's near Camp Crystal Lake. And maybe that should not be one of my nitpicks about why would they come here, because Camp Crystal Lake is probably like up the street from Higgins Haven. It's not probably a part of it, but again, still. I like Shelly. I really do. I enjoy Shelly. I think he's funny. Yes, he's annoying, but I think he's hilarious. The kills in this film are really good. Probably not as good as part 2 and maybe part 1, but I enjoy them. I love Richard Brooker's portrayal of Jason in this film. I think it's really menacing. I think it's really terrifying. He killed one person. There was one person that got killed with a harpoon gun. That was pretty cool. Shot her directly through the eye. That was awesome. He's huge. He's terrifying. He's massive. He kills Chuck, the stoner guy, kicks him into like an electrical generator, electrocutes him. That was really awesome. One of the other, I think it was Chuck's girlfriend. I don't remember her name because I don't think it was Vera. I think Vera was the one that got shot with the harpoon gun. I could be wrong. You guys let me know in the comment section below if you know. Chuck's girlfriend gets killed. She gets like impaled with like a flaming fireplace item, like tool, basically the little thing that you poke the wood to like spread the fire out. That was really cool. Shelly's, I guess it was kind of cool. I wish it would have been more on screen, but I like how they played with Shelly and, made him a jerk and everything, and then he got killed. And the final battle between Chris Higgins and Jason is really scary. It's really scary. I'm not going to lie. Like, because she gets away from him at one point and is able to get to the van. It starts the van, is able to get away, and then the van breaks down because it runs out of gas. And then he comes up and like headbutts the glass and she has to run away. It's really cool, you guys. I really like this film. I think this is better than part 2. Not better than part 2. It's more enjoyable for part 2 for me, just because I really like the classic look of Jason. This is probably one of my favorite looks of Jason, or one of my favorite portrayals of Jason. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. So I could talk about this film all day. I could talk about the things I like, things I don't like. But you guys, ultimately, I think this is a solid entry, a solid sequel. And I'm going to say that this film, and I hate to say this, I hate to rank like this, because I know the way I rank my films by now, you guys know, is awesome, really good, meh, which is like C, middle of the road, C plus, whatever, disappointment, and absolute garbage. I think this film sits between really good and awesome. I can't put it on the level of awesome because I think there's other Friday the 13th films that are better than this film that are awesome, and I don't think that this one is in the same, school as, that's just my opinion. But I also think this is slightly better than really good. I have a really good time with this. It's really fun. So I'm going to say in between those two facets, basically, you guys, those 2 points. So let me know in the comment section below, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think that this is a really good film? I've heard people say this is boring, or it's more middle of the road. I've heard people say they don't really enjoy this one that much. I've heard some people say the only reason this one is good, or people like it so much, is the nostalgia and getting Jason's hockey mask, and this is the look Jason has going forward. But you guys let me know in the comment section below, what do you think? Is this one of your favorites? Is this one of your top 5s like mine? This is probably in my top 5. Do you have fun with this? Do you hate this film? Do you like Richard Brooker's performance? Do you not like it? So let me know in the comment section below, you guys. The next time we talk Friday the 13th, we will be talking about Friday the 13th, the final chapter, one of my favorites again. And I'm not going to drop it next Friday because next Friday is Christmas. I'll probably do like my top 3 or top 5 Christmas movies, you guys. Probably, I'll drop that Christmas Day sometime. I'll probably record it Thursday night, drop it like midnight or something like that. We'll see. But I'll either talk Friday the 13th next Thursday, Christmas Eve, or I'll talk about it Saturday. Probably Saturday, just to escape the Christmas stuff. Because if I do it Thursday or Friday, it's like more Christmas. So you guys, yeah, I'll do some videos next week about Christmas. I'm not sure. Like I said, probably Christmas Day, but I'll definitely maybe next week, Monday, Tuesday, and because I usually drop videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So maybe next Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'll just talk Christmas movies. It's gonna be the week of Christmas, holiday films. So catch you guys next Saturday when I talk about Friday the 13th, the final chapter, one of my favorites in the entire Friday the 13th franchise. I will see you guys next Saturday.